Hey guys, before we jump into this video with Bant Control, I want to show you guys something that I find very cool and very touching personally. One of my followers, Tormond on Twitter, a longtime viewer of the YouTube channel here, has sent me something for me to open on stream here, or on the channel, a letter. I have not opened it yet. I've just made sure to redact the sensitive parts of the letter, but it comes all the way from Germany, which is a huge deal for me since I am from the US, and I'm going to open it right here on the channel. Let's see what we got. So I've been told that it includes a couple of cool cards along with a letter personally to me, so I'm going to read through the letter and see if there's anything that I deem as being sensitive, and I'll share with you guys what I think is appropriate. So, alrighty, so the first card that we got here is a Vampire's Bite. I believe this is in, I don't know the language, maybe Japanese? It looks like Japanese to me. Vampire's Bite in Japanese, which actually is super meaningful to me because the first deck that I started playing competitively was Mono Black Vampires. I don't know if Tormond is aware of that in some way. However, there's also a couple of my favorite printings of basic lands. In this particular case, these are basic forests, I believe, from Tormond's own Amulet Titan deck. We got a couple of these with the signature of Tormond on the front there. We've also got another card here, a common that I'm actually not familiar with. I'm not sure if these are placed here for a particular meaning, so I'll ask Tormond after that fact. But if you know what this card is right here, then you please let me know, and I'll see if I can figure it out myself. And another couple of basic lands, basic force for the Amulet deck, from one Amulet player to another. These are super meaningful to me, not only because Tormond has signed them and I can use them and show people at the LGS exactly who's responsible for their death when they try to Blood Moon me out of the game, and I just get to slam this basic forest, but also because, like I said, these are my favorite basic lands, these unhinged basics. Maybe I'll put a spoiler up on the screen to show you what they look like a scan of some sort. Despite the fact that these are my favorite basic lands, I have never had the pleasure of being able to play with them because I've never owned any of these, and Tormond found this out on Twitter and decided to send these my way so that I could have some nice basics to play in my Amulet deck, and you know absolutely for certain that I'm going to be playing these bad boys as much as possible, so thank you very much, Tormond, and I'm going to take a look at the letter as well. Dear Red-Faced Menace, my sincerest apologies for the delay. I've faced a lot of toil and trouble these days. Still, I wanted to keep my promise and deliver the heartfelt letter and my promised gift to you, since I deeply despise breaking promises. I reckon promises recently have declined in significance, though the world has become a grim and dishonest place, full of grievous injury and palpable fear. Luckily, every once in a while, there's a joyful moment that we ought to cherish, as these moments are rare and priceless. If only these moments could last a lifetime instead of vanishing into thin air. When I was a kid, I was somewhat of an outcast in school. Luckily, I started playing Magic the Gathering and found the friendship which lasts to this very day. I have started playing 21 years ago, and even though I go on tilt from time to time, I love this game from the bottom of my heart. How many wonderful personalities I have got to know, how many countries I have wandered in pursuit of my hobby, I cannot tell. What I do know, though, is I will never stop. This game has brought joy, friendship, and fulfillment. I've played every moment that existed up to this day, but I must admit that in 21 years of playing Magic the Gathering, there's not been a single deck I enjoyed as much as Amulet Titan. It feels like finding solace in just some bland, pictured cardboard. Hence, I really appreciate your efforts in producing content that is related to my favorite deck of all time. I've recommended your channel and your videos to every member of my LGS that has converted to the one true faith, Titanism. Thank you very much for your insightful commentary, your great plays, and for being a respectful, lovable, honest person. The world needs more of your kind. Stay safe, take care. I hope you like your gift. And then signed by Tormond, of course. Thank you very much for the letter and for the cards, Tormond. I appreciate them all very deeply, more so than you could possibly understand. And yeah, I'm glad to share this with you guys. I'll also be posting on Twitter to commemorate this gift. And like I said, thank you very much. Let's jump into the video. I guess we just bounce draw Yorion, perhaps, after we attack. I'm pretty happy with that. We can do all the things here, pretty much. We'll Ice-Fang. And then we'll Yorion. We'll exile the Ice-Fang and all of our other permanents that we can. Yep. We'll attach here, attach here, attach here. And, yeah. I think we're doing pretty good here, don't you? Hello and welcome, everybody. Today, we are here because of the result of the following poll. I put out a poll on Twitter and also on YouTube, as you'll see shortly, asking whether or not you guys want to see Bant, Esper, or Bant Yorion. And of course, you probably already know by the title of this video, but the winner by far was Bant with Yorion, which is actually quite surprising to me. This was the case not only on Twitter, but also on the YouTube poll. So if you guys did not manage to see these polls, then make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube and that you followed me on Twitter so you can put your input into these polls. This particular poll only got 4 votes on Twitter, and this one on YouTube got 36. So if you are not one of those 40 people who responded, presumably, then you need to follow me on Twitter and subscribe to me on YouTube. But of course, what we are playing today is good old-fashioned bantsnow, but we've got a little bit of interesting things going on. Not only are we playing a Yorion Sky Nomad to abuse our blink effects with a free card from our sideboard, we are also playing a couple new cards. We are playing Broker's Charm. It has the same 2 modes as Esper Charm, draw 2 cards and destroy target enchantment. However, the third mode on Broker's Charm is a creature you control gets +1/+0 and deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. So, of course, if you've got a Death Touch Ice-Fang Coatl, then you can give your Ice-Fang Coatl +1/+0 and have it Death Touch down a creature on your opponent's side of the board. And it's not a fight ability either, it's just the Ice-Fang Coatl that would be doing the damage. So you don't even lose your creature in play. You can also do some interesting tech things like cast a Solitude for free, and with the Evoke trigger on the stack, use Broker's Charm to get an additional fight and 3 life out of the Solitude before it goes to the graveyard to its own Evoke ability if you free cast it. So there are things like that. And of course, worst case scenario, you can just cast this one as a 3-mana draw 2, which, as we've seen in Archmage's Charm, is a very powerful effect. And then the other new Capenna card that we're playing is Endless Detour. 3-mana instant that says the owner of target spell, non-land permanent, or card in a graveyard puts it on the top or bottom of their library. So not only can we use this to kind of banish away our opponent's planeswalker that's resolved or put a creature on top or bottom of their deck, we can also use this as a pseudo counterspell, much like Aether Gust, in the sense where even if your opponent has Cavern through, say, a Primeval Titan, Endless Detour will still put that card on the top or bottom since it doesn't counter. And then there's, of course, the tech usage of using Endless Detour to put a card in our graveyard on top of our library. So let's say our opponent kills Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, we can Endless Detour to put Teferi back on top of our deck and then draw it for turn and play it. So there's some interesting little synergies there, the Noxious Revival mode, so to speak. And yeah, otherwise we're just playing a value-oriented control deck. We've got our counterspells, we've got our Prismatic Endings Marches, we've got our Jaces, Teferis, Verdicts, you know, all the normal stuff. We are playing some Spreading Seas and Abundant Growths to blink with Yorion. Growth also letting us fix for Ice-Fang Coatl by getting snow basic lands and then Abundant Growthing them, so we have perfect mana. And of course, we're playing 1 Spar's Headquarters, the Bant Triumph from New Capenna, in order to facilitate what we're doing. The only thing that I would say about this deck list that I think is suboptimal is I'm currently using a copy of Celestial Colonnade as the manland of choice. I think that this deck would be in the market for playing 2 Hall of the Storm Giants, but as of right now, the card is like 30 tickets. Back when I put the deck together, it was more along the lines of 50 tickets. So it's abnormally expensive, and I don't think it's going to be that impactful, so we've gone with 1 Colonnade here. But if you wanted to play this yourself and had the budget to spend, then 2 Hall of the Storm Giants over a Colonnade and maybe a random like fetch land like a Polluted Delta or something would be fine. And yeah, I'm excited to jump into this league. Let me know what you guys think about the deck list in the comments below, and I will see you guys in Game 1. By the way, I should say that I don't play Bant Control that terribly often. I've played it on occasion, and Broker's Charm is what brought my attention to this particular archetype. But when it comes to the way that the main deck and sideboard are built, take it with a grain of salt. I mostly play Blue-White and Esper Control. I was actually expecting Esper Control to win the vote, if I'm being honest. And so the sideboard choices, for example, playing Endurance, I feel like a lot of Bant lists don't play Endurance. You know, especially playing with a Yorion sideboard. I think this is the first time I've ever actually played a Yorion deck on the channel here. I've played one once before online, but I've never played it in paper, so playing with Yorion is going to be very new to me as well. So this league is purely for fun and to test the new Capenna cards, and if that's what you came for, then and that's what you're expecting, then that's what you're gonna get. And let's just cast some instant speed divination. How about that? Alrighty, let's hop in here for match 1. See what we're playing against. We would like to be on the play, of course. Reveal our Yorion companion. And we have a hand that casts a turn 2 Ice-Fang Coatl, which I quite like. We've got all snowlands, so we'll have a Death Touch Coatl by turn 3. So we'll definitely keep this. We can use Abundant Growth to fix for white for Prismatic Ending and top deck a white source for Verdict. So hopefully our opponent's playing a creature deck, but if not, we've got 2 cards that draw a card in our hand, so it's pretty good. Alright, let's start with the Rhinewood Falls and pass. Keep this Yorion up at all times, so I totally do not forget about it. Ooh, playing against Burn is not a fantastic start for us. Burn is not a great matchup. That's why we play 3 Timely Reinforcements in the sideboard. Are we going for the Coatl here? I feel like we have to, because if our opponent has Eidolon, we want to get this thing in before it does 2 damage to us. So rather than playing Headquarters and Abundant Growthing the Rhinewood Falls, probably better to hold up Coatl here. Also represents Counterspell, which is not worth nothing. Oh, that's not the right. There we go. Ice-Fang Coatl. Coatl? How do you say it? I've always said Coatl, but I don't know if that's correct or not. Boros Charm, Lightning Helix, something. Yeah, we weren't going to do anything about this anyways, so we'll yield here. Counterspell is a good pickup. Well, I guess we're playing Abundant Growth on an island and holding up Counterspell, so are we swinging in with the Coatl? That's a good question. I guess before we answer that question, let's just go ahead and cast the Abundant Growth and see what we draw. Another Prismatic Ending. Our opponent's on no creatures over here. I don't really want to throw our Coatl away just to save 2 damage from a creature, I don't think. We're going to need a clock to actually win, so ideally we can find a Solitude and start getting some life that way. If our opponent casts Eidolon here, then we'll counterspell it. Skullcrack. Sure. We just want to trade our cards at this point, so let's trade our cards. If they play a creature and hit us for 2 or 1, depending on whether it's a Swift Spear or Goblin Guide, that's fine. Not even, huh? Spreading Seas is basically just destroying a land of theirs, so I like that. I guess we'll start with that, huh? Leaving up our Rainbow land, of course. Yeah, they have no use for the blue mana, so, and most of their stuff costs a single red, so, like, it won't cast Boros Charm or Helix. Another Spreading Seas. Is it worth a 2 life to get this into play? I feel like it is. I'm doing it. No colored mana for you, opponent. Not possible. Archmage's Charm, and this is lit up so we can cycle it, not for any other reason. Huh. Well, we might have the time to buy Yorion, get it into play, and start attacking, and I don't want to take any additional damage, like if they play a creature, which they still haven't done yet, but they could draw one. And it has Death Touch now as well, so it'll actually trade with the creature rather than just, chumping, so I'll just leave up the Ice-Fang. Although we have endless Prismatic Endings here, but, it's whatever. I think saving the 2 life, once we've just shocked here, is probably going to be relevant, so Sunbaked Canyon. They kind of need this for red and white mana. Swift Spear, yep. So we're getting rewarded for leaving up our Coatl. Unless they just bolt it, I guess. Or skewer it. This looks like a skewer the critics, yeah. They're hitting the Coatl. Well, it gained us 3 life instead of 2, so I'm definitely happy with this trade. And now we get to use a Prismatic Ending, so we still need to find a Solitude. Well, never mind. We found it. Right, we'll play our land here. We'll Prismatic Ending the heck out of that one. Pull up Counterspell, and I'm actually feeling very, very good about this game. We can yield through the turn here since they're tapped out, but otherwise I wouldn't do that because we want to be able to Counterspell something. Eidolon? We can just Solitude that. So I guess we're okay with this? Is there a point in countering it or not? I feel like there's not. We probably want to cast the Solitude anyways, so right, we'll just pass. And we're not going to Solitude it yet because we want our opponent to take damage from Eidolon if at all possible, so I suppose they could even, play a Swift Spear. Another Eidolon. Yeah, I mean, sure. They took 2 damage, so that's nice. We could just, I mean, we're probably going to end up trading with an Eidolon anyways. We could just, take 2 untapped Supreme Verdict, but I don't love that. We'll let them attack. We're probably... Oh, they don't attack. Not attacking is interesting. Do we Solitude anyways and attack? I feel like attacking, guaranteeing us the 2 life is, the 3 life is, like, better than anything. We could just Supreme Verdict. They would have to... There's no way they could kill us if we Supreme Verdict, but then we may not have the time to gain the life from Solitude to outpace their draws? It's very strange. If we get Solitude to play right now, we can also draw Broker's Charm to gain life, so I feel like it's close, but I'm just going to cast the Solitude, I think. We'll exile the one that could attack, just to send the message, you know. Island is an interesting one. Well, I think we just take 2 to Prismatic Ending the Eidolon, and then just start getting in every single turn. Oh wait, hold on. We don't have to take 2 if we don't want to. We can leave 2 mana up. I think it's better just to, like, not take the damage at all. Just, like, gain max life. We'll just pay X equals 3 with plenty of colors, and now we're not taking damage from the Eidolon. And we can cast our Growth Spiral for just the cantrip it, I guess. I guess there's no reason to do that now, since we could potentially just put a land into play if we draw it from the Growth Spiral, so... Yeah, feeling very good about this game. Just having a mainboard lifelinker is pretty good, so... Is this a Skewer the Critics to kill the Solitude? Riftbolt to kill the Solitude. Sure. And we'll Growth Spiral. We could have potentially hit another Solitude and cast Solitude to exile the Solitude that's in play, but I don't think we would want to do that. And now we can just hard cast Solitude, so let's take care of their red source, since we drew all 3 Spreading Seas, so let's keep our opponent off of having any mana that they would want to have ever. Land? Perfect. Now we can still hard cast Solitude. Yeah, feeling very good about this game. Lifelink, you know. Here's our opponent's 1 spell this turn. Skewer. Yeah, we're just going to gain that back with Solitude anyway, so we'll go to their instep. Hard cast the Solitude and get this game over with. Bam. Okay. No targets for Solitude. No legal targets. It can't even exile itself. Whew. And the lifelinkers get there. Okay. And now we get access to timely reinforcements. So, heck yeah. Bring those in. Veto is interesting. Endurance is just a creature to block and attack. And, like, it'll eat a creature if they attack with a Goblin Guide or a Swift Spear, potentially. So that's probably good. We just need ways to end the game. Pretty much. Veto is interesting. I feel like it's probably good enough. Ice-Fang Coatl, probably good enough. Abundant Growth is really bad against Eidolon, but it does fix our mana without us having to shock. So that's, like, weird. Teferi is good, Jace is not. Prismatic Ending is, like, kind of weird. Although we only have Ending and Ice-Fang to interact with early creatures outside of March. March is actively good because it's instant speed, but Ending is awkward because it's not. Especially on the draw, though. If they go turn 1 creature, we're going to want to be able to Ending it, so... I feel like we can trim Abundant Growths. Oh, and Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral is kind of okay. It gives them the window to interact, but Time Raveler is not fantastic. We'll cut Time Raveler. Broker's Charm should be fantastic. Endless Detour seems horrible, since they'll just pay 1 mana for their spell and we'll 3 mana interact with it. Not really where I want to be. So I guess we just keep one of the Abundant Growths, perhaps, or a Time Raveler, because it stops them from just stockpiling and playing a bunch of stuff on our instep, and also sometimes counters Riftbolt, so it's probably worth it to have 1. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Growth Spiral helps us get ahead at instant speed if they don't do anything during their turn, which is very possible. Yes, we'll reveal Yorion, of course. Broker's Charm. It's here. It's here to play. We don't have a way to answer a creature, though. Like, if they just go creature, we kind of just die, right? And every mulligan we take gets us closer to a timely reinforcements as well. Like, objectively, this hand's not bad, but I feel like the likelihood that we just get creatured out of this game is pretty high. Although we do have perfect Ice-Fang Coatl mana, so... I don't know. It's tempting, but... Let's see, they kept 7. I think we have to mulligan to try to hit a turn 1 creature, or to find a timely, so we'll keep this. Bottom a fetch. Well, we have 5 fetch lands, so I guess we'll bottom Polluted Delta. I'm not playing around Blood Moon, by the way. If our opponent shows it to us, then we'll play around it, but no creature. So they have turn 2 Eidolon is what it feels like to me. See, I think we're most likely to want to fetch basic planes, so we'll play out a Misty and keep our Flooded Strands for later. See if Timely Reinforcements is good enough to get us there. Bolt, sure. I'm totally fine with them not having a creature to slam. Eidolon making us take 2 for our Growth Spiral will be kind of devastating. We might not even cast a Growth Spiral. Roiling Vortex, okay. I don't know how to feel about that one. Alright, here we'll get, I guess, Glacial Floodplain. So we can set up our snow for Ice-Fang. Yield to this. Yeah, we'll play Misty, plan to get a basic forest and Growth Spiral. Eidolon. Alright, well, let's Spiral in response to this. If our opponent had Eidolon last time, they should have just slammed it, I think, but... Wait, which one of these is the forest? Yeah, that one. Spiral. Resolve Timely, get full value. Put in a Flooded Strand. This will get the other Snowland, I guess. Although it doesn't really have to, but... It would have been nice to be able to double Spiral, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. The headquarters we might just cycle at this point, so I'm just going to get the Rhinewood Falls. And yeah, that's good. It's perfect. We love it. Love to see it. I will block and trade with our soldiers to kill this Eidolon, by the way. Oh, they can Roiling Vortex to stop us from gaining the life. That's pretty tragic. Huh. Do we cast a Timely into it anyways? I feel like we have no choice. Our opponent might just be F6 here, so... I'm also going to go to second main phase to try to get them. In case they F6'd. Kind of a scummy play, but... Oh, they didn't activate Vortex? They didn't do the life gain thing? Okay. Sure. We'll take it, I guess. Maybe the second main phase thing actually worked. I mean, that's just fantastic for us, obviously. That's not supposed to happen. Or maybe our opponent doesn't know that Vortex does the life gain prevention thing. I highly doubt that. I think we just got them by going to second main phase. Even though they didn't F6, they just didn't do anything. Maybe they misclicked. Weird. Helix us? Sure. Oh, well, I guess we want to go to instep so we can fetch. This time, get a tapped Shockland so we don't draw it and have to take damage. Searing Blaze a token, sure. Attack, we'll trade, please. Please, 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 no. Alright, we're definitely fetching here to try to thin our deck a bit. We'll get a tapped Fountain. Yeah, we might still just die to the Roiling Vortex, but, are we plussing to Fairy or minusing on the Vortex? I feel like minusing on the Vortex is not bad. No, or maybe we have to minus on Eidolon? I don't know. I don't know how we're beating this Vortex. I guess we could minus on Eidolon. They don't have another, and then we find a, prismatic ending for the Vortex. We also have more answers to Eidolon than we have to Vortex, so, like, it's weird. We'll put a basic land into play to play around potential Blood Moon shenanigans. We're definitely playing Teferi. Holding up Counterspell when our opponent has Eidolon in play doesn't really make any difference, so we could also minus on their Eidolon and just start clocking them. They have one card. If they have exactly Creature plus Burn Spell, then that would be really bad for us. I kind of feel like we just have to hit the Vortex, but I don't love it. Alright, I'm going to try to race them. This gives us the ability to draw with Teferi next turn, assuming it's still alive. And we also have Growth Spiral to try to find a answer to Vortex. And if we hit a Solitude, then we can start gaining life that way and outpacing the Vortex and, like, killing our opponent on the battlefield, so we'll give it a shot. Now if they have a creature, they kind of have to kill Teferi as well, so... Crack Islet, that's a great start for us. Tap land is also fantastic for us. The fewer spells our opponent has, the better. Skullcrack Teferi. I'll take it. Growth Spiral. Alright, let's start with a Spiral. Not playing land first, because then we still have land to play for turn. We'll Spiral again. Ice-Fang. We don't have a basic to fetch for that. Alright, we'll just hold up Counterspell then. Clock our opponent. See if we can outpace them with their own Vortex, huh? Are we supposed to fetch here? That'll put us into double bolt range. Eidolon. Heck freaking no. Heck no. Although I think we knew that they were going to draw that, right? Canyon. So we're about to go to 6. If we fetch down to 5, then and they have a Goblin Guide, we can still Ice-Fang to block it. So, like, they have a card. Spike us. If fetching down to 3 means we're dead to any bolt, although we're going to 3 regardless. Alright, yeah, we have to fetch here, I think. I guess it potentially denies us 1 turn. Get a tap Breeding Pool. Solitude is okay. Temple Garden's not. We have Yorion we can buy. Alright, well, we're attacking with these goons. And hoping our opponent top decks a land, I guess. We will not pay the 2 life. Get Yorion in our hand. Hope our opponent top decks a creature or a blank. No, it actually has to be an actual blank, I think. Okay. So Swift Spear means we're not dead. We can still top deck... We can still top deck Solitude to exile our own creature. Ice-Fang. See what we top deck. Endurance. Man, we were 1 away from being able to cast that. We have to block. I don't think we have a way to get our opponent lower than they are. Answer to Vortex could be good too. Another Endurance, huh? I think we're just dead. We don't have anything we can even blink with Yorion. Alright, so that was actually really close. It was only close because our opponent didn't stop us from getting life from the Timely. Huh. Well, if we want to change anything, Teferi bounces Vortex, which is relevant. Charms seem fine. Endurance, I don't know. I'm still not sold that Endurance is that great. I think just clocking our opponent is not enough. We have ways to clock them. Maybe 2 Endurance is fine. 2nd Teferi seems better than 3rd Endurance, I think. Alright, we'll go like this. And we'll reveal Yorion. Spreading Seas. We've got Broker's Charm for the combo. I mean, yeah, we're definitely keeping this. Leading on Rimewood, I guess. In the case that we draw lands, I want to cycle Sparas, I guess. We might just hold up Counterspell / Ice-Fang Coatl in case our opponent could have Eidolon, so... Goblin Guide hitting lands for us is good. Endurance to eventually block and clock is good. We'll play Misty, planning to fetch a basic island. Although, being able to seize this canyon would be fantastic for us. Not gonna lie. Another Goblin Guide. Do we have to counter this? We can... Next turn, we can evoke Endurance and then pitch Broker's Charm, or, you know, pitching to evoke Endurance and the Broker's Charm to kill something. Which I don't love. We can counterspell this. untap Spreading Seas land if they don't have another land. I think we have to counter this, unfortunately. My gut feeling says that we can't let them have multiple creatures in play. Yeah, we'll say no. Land off the top one time. Ice-Fang. Interesting. Well, that chumps, and they don't have another land, so seizing this could be super effective. I think it's time to play the headquarters. And I'm going to go for the seize on this play instead of anything else. Teferi's actually fantastic, especially when our opponent's stuck on lands. Like, if we can land this, then we'll be in good shape. Ah, timely. I didn't know if I wanted to play the Heath, but I think it's the right play, so... I mean, we'll definitely timely here for max value, and our opponent probably loses on the spot, so... Cool. Yeah, this game is turning out great for us. Yep. No attacks. Love it. I guess we'll fetch a basic plains here, because we don't really want to draw more lands. Mystic Gate. Sure. That lets us cast Teferi and Uptick, which we'll do. Another Spreading Seas, huh? Dude, Spreading Seas is just doing so much work this game. It's not always yield to that. We'll untap the Rainbow Land and Rimewood Falls for max value. Yeah. I don't see us really losing this game, so... Swiss Spear, sure. Maybe we're just saving Broker's Charm until we can find a Solitude to do the trick. Swing all. No swings? Yeah, swing all is what I'm expecting. We'll let this go. Prismatic Ending, sure. Here's a Ice-Fang that has Death Touch. We'll block the Swift Spears. Guarantee getting a Swift Spear out of play unless our opponent bolts our Coatl. Chump this, and then try to trade with Goblin Guide. If they have things to kill one of these guys, we don't really care. Whatever's still left after this, we can Prismatic Ending and Ice-Fang to clean up, so... Ice-Fang actually looking really good here. I wasn't sure how good Ice-Fang would be against Burn, but I guess it makes a lot of sense that it's good, because it trades with a creature and keeps us up on cards. Skullcrack. You got it. Yep, so yeah, this doesn't change anything. We still get to use our last removal spell to get this Swift Spear out of play, and then just take the game over with Teferi, so... Solitude. We'll find it eventually. We will find it eventually. Alright, let's, before we do anything, we'll seize their white source. No Boros Charms and Helixes for you. We want to be able to hardcast Endurance, so we play land, make white with Headquarters, ending, untap 2. We can have... I guess it doesn't really make a difference. So, wait, hold on. If we play an untap land, we have 3 up, untap 2, we have Ice-Fang plus Endurance, potentially. But not if we don't have enough green sources. Well, we could float, and then Ice-Fang after the untap with the green floating. So tap this, untap these 2. Use the blue and hold up. Nah. Doesn't quite work. Our mana's awkward here. Let's see, we do this, make 1, play filter for blue-white, Prismatic Ending, Coatl, untap, Rimewood Falls, and something else, and we can still Endurance. Yeah, I guess we can do it all. Mana, really awkward looking here. Play Ice-Fang. Prismatic Ending this. We can do it all, though. Untap Rimewood and Island, I guess. And now we even have the fight up with Broker's Charm. Oh, boy. Our opponent's on 1 spell a turn, despite having 3 lands, so that's pretty good. Yep, Lightning Bolt is A-okay with me. And now we start actually ending the game. We'll play Endurance. And I guess we will target ourselves because we want to shuffle this timely reinforcements back in, so. Uptick to fairy. Okay, that's a lot of lands. Play this. Tapped. By Yorion. I guess at this point we're just drawing 2 with Broker's Charm to try to find Solitude, so. Oh, we win the match. Never mind, our opponent had enough. Cool. What would we have hit from the Broker's Charm? Land Verdict. Not fantastic. Yeah, our draws were not going to be kind to us, so I'm glad our opponent conceded there, but, anyways. Well, that was match 1. Let's jump in here for match 2. I will admit, starting off the league by playing against a horrible matchup and winning anyways, that's a great way to start a league, I just gotta say. Alrighty, let's hop in here for match 2. On the play. Heck yeah. Playing against Happy Sandwich. I believe Happy Sandwich typically plays Blue-White Hammer, I think. I mean, I don't care. You could not convince me not to heap this hand. It would be impossible for you to accomplish that. Land pass. Keep our Yorion up, so we don't forget. Arid Mesa. Are we getting burned again? Nope. Looks like it's Blue-White Hammer. Yep. Sentinel is pretty good. Do we have to Solitude this? We can save Spreading Seas for, like, a Saga or an Inkmoth anyways, so, like, I feel like this is probably okay. Pitching Broker's Charm to Solitude doesn't feel fantastic here, so. And I think we are good to get the headquarters. Our 1/1 Ice-Fang can actually just trade with a lot of their stuff anyways, so I'm not worried about setting up the snow stuff. Also, I guess showing our opponent snowlands makes them informed to play around Ice-Fang, so. Stoneforge, sure. See what they get. Now we can trade our Ice-Fang with their Esper if they attack. They shouldn't be suspecting Ice-Fang here either, to be honest. Reality Chip. Interesting choice. Oh, they don't attack. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Alright, well, let's cantrip with Ice-Fang anyways. Get it out of the way. Prismatic Ending to answer the Sentinel is nice. Pay 2, leave 1 up. Pay 1, let them draw, and then Spreading Seas their blue-white source. Is it worth letting them have the card? I guess we could also just steal with the Archmage's Charm. I don't know. Maybe we just don't do anything yet. Because next turn we can ending, pay, and then seize them. And this turn we can Archmage's Charm to steal. Or, like, Solitude, pitching something like Broker's Charm, and then Archmage's Charm to counter as well. Like, if they're just playing Reality Chip, I think that's probably fine. Interesting spot. We could also just Spreading Seas and pay. I think holding Seas for Saga is going to be better, though. Weird spot. I think I'm just going to. I mean, passing's not fantastic here, because we can't really do anything without Solituding, so I guess we're just going to Prismatic Ending for 1 the Sentinel. Just rip off the Band-Aid, get it out of the way. Oh, no, I paid 2 mana. Oh, my freaking gosh, why did I do that? Oops. What the heck just happened, man? Not only did I pay an extra mana for the Sentinel, I also clicked OK before I fetched, so I couldn't pay the 1. Well, I mean, if there's a way to lose a game, that's the way to do it. Springleaf Drum's fine. Silent Clearing is an interesting one to see. Oh, they're activating Stoneforge. So, Cauldra, perhaps? We can steal a Cauldra token. Or even just Solitude it. Yeah. This is, like, fine. In fact, that's a fantastic clock for us to have access to. See, let's go to Instep. So we can fetch out a tap land. Go grab Glacial Floodplain, I do suppose. And our plan is to Archmage's Charm to steal this, which we probably have to do immediately to play around Spell Pierce. So I think we'll just do that. Yoink. And no reason to attack with Ice-Fang. They could still just have, like, Sigarda's Aid and Hammer, or, like, Paladin 0-drop Hammer. and we would still want to be able to potentially block, so not in any rush here. They don't even have to have a 0-drop, because they still control the Cauldra, actually. So they would just have to have Paladin plus Hammer, and they can double equip, so there's Hammer, which they're just casting. Okay, well, here's Paladin, I guess. So this is the right sequencing, because if they cast Paladin into Hammer to draw, we could Solitude the Paladin in response to the draw trigger, so... yeah, I guess we're not going to Solitude anything right now. They get to free equip their Cauldra, yeah. I mean... the Cauldra grants haste, doesn't it? Yeah, so we just let this go, I guess, so they don't free equip the Paladin after we Solitude. Do we even have to Solitude? I guess we do have to Solitude. Chip? I mean, there's literally nothing we can do about this. Indestructible Trample. So we also have to Solitude this. We can't just, like, chump with Ice-Fang. Sure. Ornithopter, yep. Yeah, this is rough for us. And we have to pitch the Broker's Charm to Solitude as well. Ugh. I don't know if having any mana up or, something along those lines would have helped here, but... I guess we could have also just bought Yorion as a card to pitch to Solitude. That would have been an interesting play. Sucks we have to do this, but we do have to do this. They gain 16 life. Seems good, seems good. I guess we could be playing Ephemerate. That wouldn't be the worst thing. Yeah, I guess Cauldra was more problematic. Honestly, the Cauldra wasn't the problem. Really, it was the Pure Steel Paladin. Having no way to deal with a Pure Steel Paladin is just rough. Another Spreading Seas. Stop you from drawing a card. More lands. Yeah, there's nothing we can draw now. Alright. Alright, against Hammer, we want the third verdict. Do we want Disputes? Not really. I mean, it hits our opponent's Spell Pierces, but, like... Time leaves too slow. Veto hits... Veto is uncounterable and will stop their Hammers and Nettle Cyst and, like, stuff like that in the late game. I don't hate Veto. It's also not weak to Spell Pierce, which is nice, so I think we're okay to bring in a couple. Although I guess we have Veil of Summer, potentially, for our opponent's Spell Pierces and or Disputes. Veto also hits 3 Fairy, which they could be playing as well. Broker's Charm killing enchantments, and also fighting with Ice-Fang seems good. Detour seems rough. Detour seems weak to Spell Pierce. Yeah, I think we trim a couple Detours. Maybe not all of them. Spiral seems good. I think we need Jace to be able to get ahead. Prismatic is very good. Counterspells are not fantastic, because a lot of times we're losing on board, so... Trimming a Counterspell seems okay. Is Counterspell better than Detour? I don't think so. Alright, we'll go this way. Alright, be on the play. Hopefully play a little bit better than last game. Reveal Yorion. Turn 2 Spiral into 3 Fairy or Archmage's Charm seems pretty good, so we'll try it. Lead on Misty here. But it's got no turn 1 Sentinel, which we love. We'll get Headquarters. Abundant Growth. If we Spiral now, we get to Abundant Growth also. I think that's probably worth it. So we'll get Island, and then we'll Spiral. We'll put in Windswept, we'll fetch for Basic Forest, and Abundant Growth our Forest. Yep, that way it can tap for Archmage's Charm mana. I guess our opponent could Spell Pierce this. Nope. Yeah, it wouldn't really make sense for them to do that, but... I mean, this is some powerful stuff we're doing. Or seemingly powerful. See what our opponent's got here on turn 2. Discard his aid. Nothing. Okay. Are we just bouncing with Teferi Time Raveler? I don't hate that. They could have Spell Pierce yet again. Do we play Teferi into Spell Pierce? We can, but then our opponent could have, like... I mean, there's nothing they can really... They could have Spell Pierce for this and Spell Pierce for Big Teferi. Perhaps. I feel like it's pretty safe to cast Teferi here. They would have to have, like, the 1 mana, like, Flayer Husk or some random equipment that they could, like, attack with, or, like, a Ginger Brute to punish us for just casting Time Raveler here, and that's... Well, no, not if they Spell Pierce. They'd have to have exactly Ginger Brute. So I think I'm pretty interested in casting Teferi here. Resolves. Do we bounce the Sigard's Aid? I think that we do. Okay. We'll play a tapped land, I guess. A pass. And next turn we can resolve Hero, or just hold up Archmage's Charm, and now we don't have to worry about Spell Pierce as long as Teferi's in play, so... Ink Moth. Kind of scary. Because we can't gain control of that one. It's non-land permanent. They have Teferi. Well... And now we draw Counterspell. I mean, I guess we're definitely plussing this guy, so we'll do it. Teferi minus on their Teferi is like... They could have land... They could have land, play Sigard's Aid, activate Inkmoth Nexus, hammer it, and we'd be exactly dead. That's not, like, super far from possible, but I think we're losing to that sequence anyways. So, I mean, if we lose, we lose. This is otherwise the play that we just have to make. Alright, opponent, don't kill us, please. It's the classic question of, do they have it? This is asking for them to have a 4th land, which they have. A hammer. 4th land hammer is not, like, too hard for them to have here. I guess they could be playing around possible Solitude. It looks like they have it, probably. No? Oh, they don't have it. Okay, so they're killing Big Teferi, which is fine. Yeah, I still feel good about our spot now. We'd like to find a Spreading Seas. That's what we'd like to find. +1. Play land. Do we draw 2 to try to find Spreading Seas? We're still holding up Counterspell, so I think I'm okay with it. Broker's Charm. That can kill the Saga. I don't know. That might be too much, though. Pulling up Counterspell is probably better here, I think. Counterspell or draw 2 at their instep. And we're not playing into Spell Pierce again because of our 3 Fairy, so... Hard to navigate these hammer games. Play Sigard's Aid, perhaps? Sure. If they play a hammer or something that searches for a hammer, we'll counter it. We also have to keep in mind that it's underneath their top card right now, I believe, is their 3 Fairy, which we'll probably have to counter, so... We can't even Broker's Charm to kill the Saga if we want to, since it is an enchantment. Don't know if that will be worth it, though. We'll let them swing with the Paladin. No attacks. Oh, they're scared. They're scared to death of Ice-Fang Coatl. Alright, well, I guess we just Charm to draw. Because we don't really know what we want to be doing with our Broker's Charm as of right now, so... I think it's probably worth the life to fix our mana as best as possible, too. Nah, we don't actually need it. We'll just get Island. We'll draw 2. We could gain control of Visigarda's Aid, but it doesn't seem that great. Oh, another Teferi, huh? That seems pretty decent. Alright, so we could bounce, draw, and lose our 3 fairy, which doesn't seem that fantastic. We can Teferi, uptick, hold up. 4 mana, so that would be like instant speed, prismatic ending, plus Archmage's Charm or Broker's Charm. That is if we plus. I don't think we're losing 3 fairy here, because keeping them off of Spell Pierce is doing us a lot of work here. We need to kill the Saga, I think, as well, because letting them get an extra token and a hammer out of it, not fantastic. Is instant speed prismatic for 1 good enough? We could play land. Maybe we just don't play Teferi this turn. Maybe we prismatic ending for 2, the pure steel. Brokers to kill the Saga. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We don't have a way to stop them from killing us with Nexus if they have double hammer, I guess. We are going to be soft to Nexus. I guess we're supposed to prismatic and hold up Archmage Charm plus Counterspell. Oh no, we have to Broker's Charm the Saga, right? Interesting. Alright, let's get rid of this pure steel while we can, I guess. And I think we do have to Broker's Charm to kill the Saga. And just hope they don't have exactly double hammer, which if they had hammer, we would have been dead already, so they probably don't even have a single hammer. We'll kill the Saga. And they make a token, of course. Now we're holding up Counterspell. Next turn, we get to Teferi Hero. Huh. Interesting game. Blue. 3 mana. 3 fairy. I think we have to counter 3 fairy. Again, we could be dead to... No, they already played land, so we can't be dead to hammer on Nexus. Skill, construct. Oh, so they're killing 3 fairy. Well, that's okay, though, because now we get to resolve to fairy, and we don't care about Spell Pierce anymore, so... To fairy. We'll go up. Abundant Growth, so we have to cycle on freaking everything. Cool. Alright, well, we'll get a basic island, and we'll Abundant Growth the island that's untapped. And I guess we'll do it again. Untap 2, hold up Archmage's Charm. Supreme Verdict. That will be good eventually, but it's not yet good. We'll untap some Abundant Growth lands, I guess. Archmage's Charm. They activate Nexus, okay. No blocks. I have Hammer. No skill. Yeah, that's fine. I assume these are at 5 fairy, yeah. We can gain control of the construct. If we do that, then we just lose to Hammer. But I think for the past couple turns, they have presumably not had it, so I think we need to keep this to... Oh, it's got hexproof now. What am I doing? Well, our opponent knows that we have Archmage's Charm. Yeah, well, this is just going to happen then. Pure Steel. Alright, so we're going to be casting Verdict. Does that mean we want a Charm to draw here? If we gain control of Aid, then we're not just going to be dead to Hammer anymore. We can buy Yorion as well. So, like, Verdict, buy Yorion, keep 2 up. I feel like we're probably okay to draw with Charm here. All lands is not fantastic. At least one of them was Colonnade. Let's see, so if we Verdict and play an untap land, we get to hold up Solitude also. So then we don't just die to Nexus plus things. So I guess that's the play. Yeah, we'll Verdict. And hold up Solitude, I guess. We could buy Yorion and then, pitch cast to Solitude if we had to, but Yorion's going to draw us 3 cards as of right now, so don't feel like that's going to be necessary. Solitude also doesn't play into Spell Pierce either, so I don't know. Our opponent would have to have Hammer plus Blacksmith Skill, the 3rd one, for us to be in trouble here. If we're just taking 1 Infect, I'm cool with that. Hammer. We'll let it resolve targeting the Nexus, I guess. And then this will respond to. If they have Blacksmith Skill, we are dead. Solitude. Target that thing. Oh, now we get to blink Solitude, potentially. Probably not going to. Alright, so this is definitely a Yorion plus blink turn. We don't know how much mana we're going to need to have up. After Yorion, we'll have 1 mana up. So I guess shocking to have, or, playing a fetch, to have 2 mana up in case we draw a counterspell is good. I guess we do blink Solitude just so it's untapped so we can block with it. They path it. Okay. Path is a weird one for them to have against us, not gonna lie. Oh, wait, hold on. We don't want to tap all of our freaking dual lands. Fetch the Heath, I guess. Grab basic plains. We'll tap the island, this, and Sparas. Nah, let's just tap these 2. We can always, re-enchant them. Oh, wait. We overtap by 1. Sorry, I haven't played this card. Yes, we'll just do this. Sure. Draw 3 cards. Seems pretty good. Alright, we'll attach this to the forest, this to plains, this to a plains. And we drew Growth Spiral, which is pretty good. Because at least we can cast it. Saga, sure. Alright, I feel pretty in control of this game. Spiral, put in a Colonnade. Marsh is fantastic. Floodplain's not. Teferi. I guess we just bounce draw a Yorion, perhaps, after we attack. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see, we have 4, 5. We can do all the things here, pretty much. I'm just gonna take more damage. Do we play Ice-Fang first? Probably not. We definitely want to march the Saga. So let's just do that now. Actually, do we definitely want to march the Saga? I think that we do. We'll Ice-Fang. And then we'll Yorion. We'll exile the Ice-Fang and all of our other permanents that we can. Yep. We'll attach here. Attach here. Attach here. And, yeah. I think we're doing pretty good here, don't you? Yorion doing insane amounts of work. We'll uptick. We'll Prismatic ending this. We'll play Mystic Gate. We'll activate Colonnade because we can do whatever we want. We'll go to combat. Attack with everything. And we'll pass. Esper Sentinel, we'll just counterspell. We'll uptick, activate Colonnade. Is this lethal? This looks lethal. Oh. Okay. Cool game. Got to do the Yorion thing, which felt fantastic. Abundant Growth looking amazing there. Detour still not my favorite thing to have. Although, is it better than something else? The vetoes look alright against our opponent's 3 fairies. Until they resolve. Screw it. I'm going to have Detour instead, because I want to play the card. Let's go. Also, Detour hits things that aren't non-creature spells, so... On the draw now, which is scary. Yeah, Yorion just being an extra card that lets us get infinite value is just insane. Here's a Yorion once again. March, Growth Spiral. Yeah, I mean, these are cards that do things, so we'll keep them. No turn 1 Saga. Sad for us. Spreading Seas for Eventual Saga is kind of nice. We'll play Fetch Land Pass. Let's see what this one is. Pierce Steel. Stoneforge, sure. Get Cauldro, which we can march the token for, so it's not a problem. Floodplain. I mean, playing tap land lets our opponent just cast Teferi, which they might do anyways. I'm going to play the land that lets us hold up Growth Spiral and makes them have to pick and choose their spots here. We will definitely march the token. Let's see if they stack their triggers correctly. They do. We'll let them potentially attach to the Stoneforge if they want to. We could take 5 just to get the Growth Spiral out of the way. I actually feel like that's a worthy trade, so more mana is better in my opinion than not having more mana. So that's the reasoning for that play. And I'm going to march this now so that we don't get spell pierced. And pass. Holding up Counterspell or Draw 2. Don't really care which. Sentinel. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, actually. Are we supposed to draw 2? Do we just counter this even? We could get hammered. That really sucks. I think I'm going to draw 2 and just accept that if we get hammered, we get hammered. Verdict is fantastic. Saga. We can Spreading Seas that. We did get hammered. Are we going to get double hammered? Oh, no. Hammer Shadow Spear. Okay. Not dead. Not dead is good. I think we're going to cast Verdict here. What do you think? If they have Pierce Paladin, we're just freaking dead. Let's not let them draw an extra card, though, I guess. Verdict. Will not always yield to this. Yes. Alright, opponents, no Pure Steel Paladin, please and thank you. Oh, they have Pure Steel. Cool. You know what? To be honest, though, that's actually pretty sick. And, of course, this is lethal because the Cauldron is giving it haste, so... That was actually a pretty sick match, I'm not gonna lie. That was still really fun to play. Reveal our hand of 4 land Spreading Seas. We would have hit Teferi and Roka's Charm off the Spreading Seas. Teferi bouncing the token from the Saga, if they didn't have Pure Steel there, would have been good. So yeah, if they had not Pure Steel Paladin, if they had anything else, then I think we were in good shape. But, you know, c'est la vie. Alrighty, well, we are now 1-1, and let's jump in for match 3 here. Alrighty? So, do some more cantripping. Haven't gotten to cast Broker Charm a whole lot, but honestly, just having instant speed divination is pretty big for these control decks, so... Playing on the draw now. Sad times. See what our opponent is doing. Reveal. They did not reveal a companion. I guess they don't want a free extra card, huh? I mean, this hand, again, it's spells, so it's good. We'll keep it. Yorion feels pretty free in this list, I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, all of our hands just have a ton of good cards. It doesn't really matter. We'll keep. Plus, it means that we're slightly better against Mill. Another hammer matchup? Oh, no. Alright, we're gonna probably just ending this and let them get their freaking extra card, because we suck. And Esper Sentinel sucks. No. I'm gonna do this now, so next turn we can Spreading Seas the Saga if they play it, or just Growth Spiral. Might as well give them the extra card since they're gonna get it anyways. Don't play another Sentinel. Please, God, do not play another... Okay, Steel Shaper's Gift. Another hammer matchup. So we have a redemption arc here. Reality Chip. Land. Shadow Spear. Okay, yeah, we can beat this for sure. Alright, well... Do we Spreading Seas? I guess not. It's better to Growth Spiral and hope to YOLO a land off the top than it is to waste our seas trying to, you know, making it so we can't answer a Saga in the future, so we'll get to see the power of Endless Detour now, hopefully. They did get the chip, by the way. They're hungry. Is it sour cream and onion, you think? Nettle Cyst. Yeah. You absolutely got it. We'll go to next in step. Memnite. Yep. Alright. Everybody at home, summon the land to the top of the deck, please. Are we shocking or getting a basic? I think we're getting a basic. Land, 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 land. One time, land. No land. Sad. Still no land. Alright, well, I think that pretty much means that we have to Spreading Seas, and there's no real debate. Alright, land again. Come on. No land? No land? Our redemption's not really going the way I anticipated it. I have to admit. Reality Chip? Yep. I mean, if we draw a Solitude and a land somehow, then we can do the combo to get back into this game easily and have our own mini Supreme Verdict here. Pure Steel Paladin. Please don't. We're innocent. We've done nothing. Are we innocent? Oh, just equip Memnite. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, this 5/5 Nettle Cyst is kind of worrisome, but I like equipping the Memnite there instead of the Nettle Cyst because it's better against removal. Now we hit a land. We can Detour to put the Nettle Cyst on top. Or we can Prismatic Ending the token, but then they can just re-equip. Yeah, I think we're using this turn to Detour. We'll do it on their upkeep, I guess. Actually, no, we'll do it after they attack. If they draw the, like, 1 or 2 of mainboard Spell Pierce, then, you know, whatever. I'm over it. Destroy target enchantment. If only it was artifact or enchantment, right? Okay. Maybe we should have detoured here. Alright, yeah, well, we're definitely going to detour now. And I guess we're getting planes. That puts us so far away from Archmage's Charm. If we fetch Shock, we're taking 2. I mean, we don't really have a choice. We gotta be able to cast our spells, so... Wait, that is not the right one. Put Nettle Cyst on top. Or bottom, I guess. They could bottom it. I wonder if it'll tell us. Put it on top? Okay. Now we ending for 1 on the Ornithopter and pay, perhaps? We could gain control of the Ornithopter and then, like, get a land off the top for free. Ugh. Saga. Ugh. We're in really bad shape here. Really bad shape. I mean, we can just let them go off with the reality chip. And Saga, Spreading Seas the Saga. Prismatic, or we can Prismatic for 0, the Ornithopter. Not pay. Spreading Seas the Saga. Take 3, hopefully, and untap. And, like, go from there, I guess? We can Spreading Seas and pay and hope to draw a white land? Nah. Alright, this. Esper Sentinel. Cancel. Hold on. We can hit the Esper Sentinel or we can hit the Ornithopter. I think hitting the Ornithopter is better. Although, we'll take less damage if we hit the Sentinel, but I don't think that matters. Let's see, they can play and equip Nettle Cyst. If we do that and we just lose. Oh no, they'd have to have a land without having access to the chip. They'd have to have land to kill us with Nettle Cyst. And then whatever they equip, we can just steal. Ugh, this just feels awful, but I mean, we gotta do what we can, so. Oh, wait. This is the plan. Still no land. Cool. All of our cards say draw a card, but yet we still can't draw a land. Oh, we're dead. Oh yeah, Nettlesys is just lethal here, right? Or hammer, or, you know, anything. I mean, I guess we could theoretically have Solitude, and they may not play around it. So let's represent Solitude by removing the auto-yield. See how they stack their triggers, too, because if they stack the triggers incorrectly, then they punk themselves. Although we still probably can't win from that point, but I guess Broker's Charm does kill Sigarda's Aid. Broker's Charm's kind of awkward in this matchup, though, not gonna lie. Alright, they did not stack the triggers incorrectly. Yeah, and we're dead. Cool. Over it. Honestly, I'm just glad to not be playing that game anymore, so. Endurance is interesting. It has reach, so it can block things like Inkmoth. I guess Endurance is probably worth it. Detour doesn't seem that fantastic. We had Vetoes last time, but I don't think I care too much for it. And they probably have Teferi, though, so we'll bring in a couple Vetoes. We trimmed a Teferi of our own. Jace is our way to get ahead. It also bounces a creature, which is not irrelevant. I think Broker's Charm is actually not fantastic, so I'll try on Broker's Charm. We'll try this. Sideboarding differently to try to figure out the matchup. Ice-Fang. Well, we get to turn 2 Spiral, which will be great against our opponent's turn 2 freaking Esper Sentinel. In order to do that, we have to fetch Triome basic land, I guess. And then we have no interaction. This hand's not fantastic. It doesn't answer Saga at all. It's not the worst, though. Also, to cast Endurance, we have to fetch Shock Breeding Pool to cast the Spiral. We get a draw from the Spiral and a draw for turn, though. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. And this hand gets wrecked by turn 1 Sentinel. Although every hand gets wrecked by turn 1 Sentinel, to be honest, so. I'm just gonna keep it. I don't know. Sue me. I guess we could get basic Forest for the Spiral. Like, fetch for Triome, get basic Forest. Man, I'm starting to think these Mysticates should be Flooded Groves instead. We'll play Delta, just so we have the possibility of fetching for basic Forest. Don't Sentinel me, bro. Don't do it. Sigarda's Aid. That's fine. Get the headquarters. What's going on down in headquarters? Ice-Fang's really good, actually. Yeah, we'll play the Heath. Ice-Fang was a nice pickup, I'm not gonna lie. You know, the nice thing I like about this deck is, even if I'm losing, I feel like I'm having fun playing it at all points in time. Another Aid. Sure. I mean, it's not that these do nothing, because the second Aid allows them to, you know, target a second creature with the equip and play around removal spells in some capacity. But, you know, put a Mystic Gate on tap. Forest. Sure. Do we want to ending something? I guess not. Could slam Jace. Would be fine, I guess. Pure Steel, yeah. Saga, sure. Are we supposed to Ice-Fang in response to this to try to find March? I don't see anything wrong with that. If we find March, then doing this will be nice, so... It's not like it gives our opponent any information or anything. I guess we could have done that to try to hit Counterspell also, but... It didn't matter. We wouldn't have had it, so... Alright, we'll untap. March would still be great. No March. We can Jace 0 and try to find it, or we can just Prismatic Ending on 2. Prismatic on 2, hold up Endurance. Seems pretty good, so... It's kind of what I'm feeling here. Oh. Colorless Mana. Hammer. Just the cantrip? Okay? Like, sure? Draw your card, I guess. Go crazy. I'm not saying it's a bad play, necessarily. It might be the play they have to make. I've made this play myself playing my opponent's deck before, so... Also, our Ice-Fang just casually does not have Death Touch. So that's a thing. Yeah. Are we attacking? I guess we are. If our opponent wants to attack into an Endurance that we can hardcast, you know, I'm cool with it. Inkmoth. Vaguely annoying, not gonna lie. Alright, let's get our Endurance into play while we still can. I don't think we want to shuffle our cards. I think we have more impactful cards than Growth Spiral and Prismatic Ending in our deck, so... Also don't want to make us more likely to draw fetch lands. Definitely debatable, but... Resolving Jace here is an interesting idea. Playing land first to play around Spell Pierce is also an interesting idea. So I think I'm into that. Yeah, we want to save the fetch for after the Jace 0 so we can shuffle away some stinker cards. Yeah, we'll always yield to our own Jace Brainstorm. Weird that it does that, but, you know. And I guess we'd rather have a fetch land to do the shuffle thing again. Yep. Swing with Endurance only, I guess? Or maybe we need to hold up both blockers for a Saga token. They're gonna get to fetch a thing. Would have been nice to be able to answer the freaking Saga. If this was like another March, that would be fantastic. I feel like maybe we just need more copies of March in the deck. March is just really good. I think it's really underrated. Make a dude, sure. See what they're going to search for with Saga. After they make another construct, perhaps? Also, worth noting that even if they flying to their Inkmoth Nexus, we have 2 blockers for Inkmoth, so that's cool. Did they just get another hammer? That seems useless, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they got, like, a Ornithopter or something. Or Shadow Spear, perhaps? Shadow Spear makes a lot of sense. That way they get to guaranteedly take care of the Jace. You go up to 4/4s. No, Shadow Spear doesn't make too much sense unless they have another hammer. And we're representing a million ways to interact here, too, so... Like, if they were to go for the Shadow Spear plus hammer, let's see, that would be 5, 6, 10, 16. That would be... It wouldn't be lethal because we could, like, block, but... Springleaf Drum. That makes sense, too. Another Saga. But man, I guess we suck at this game. Dress Down looking pretty good here, too. If they attack, I will block. Alright, let's fetch. Get those lands off the top of our deck. Get another snow land in play. Untap, draw. Alright, we'll 0. Teferi's quite good. Abundant Growth is, like, not that great. Guess we'll put land back. Play land for turn. Play 3 fairy, I do suppose. Could bounce draw our Ice-Fang? I don't really see a reason to do that. Or we just bounce the Saga, perhaps? Nettlecyst? Sure. We can ending the token or just ending the Nettlecyst itself. Bounce draw a token with Teferi even, perhaps? I think fetch, bounce draw, Saga. Do we even care about the Saga at this point? I don't know. Ending Nettlecyst, bounce draw, Saga. Also, I guess we can Growth Spiral now and put a land into play since we know one's on top. And that's not the worst. Otherwise, we're getting no value from our Spiral. Although we're getting a guaranteed land instead of a real card. Spiral's kind of awkward here. We could bounce draw token, Prismatic Ending token, let them have Saga. I don't know. Weird spot. We could fetch an Abundant Growth first and see what happens. I'm pretty okay with that. Not our favorite target for Abundant Growth, but... Bounce draw token, ending Nettlecyst. We have Ice-Fang in case they have a hammer to equip. Yeah, I think hitting the token is better than hitting the Saga here, so... I don't know, though, because their Saga's going to search for another, artifact and make another 2 constructs. Although bouncing it doesn't actually deal with that, but... I think we're just going to deal with the stuff that's in play, I guess. Counterspell is interesting. Do we ending the Nettlecyst or not? We can hold up Counterspell instead. I think we ending the Nettlecyst. Why wouldn't it let me hit done? Oh, there's no white. I see. What a stupid reason. I was very confused. Yeah. Are you swinging with endurance? I guess not. Because they can activate Nexus, and then we'll have to have 2 blockers. Or they get to hammer us, so... We can also just start Jace minusing the bounce construct token. Ornithopter is great for us. I feel like we have tons of tools at our disposal with this deck, and I love it. Oh, them doing this means they're not activating Saga, which I love, love, love. We'll put the Ice-Fang in front of the... Do we actually just get rid of the Nexus for good? With Ice-Fang? It does have Death Touch. Send Endurance under the bus. Everything's... Oh, wait. This Nexus is at Teferi. I think I'd rather... We could just take the 5. This is not fantastic, though. If we do this and they hammer the Nexus, I think I'm pretty okay with that, because that wastes a hammer. We'll just block like this. Okay. I kind of feel like our opponent just threw away 2 creatures for no reason, but, you know. I guess maybe they didn't realize that their construct would be dying because of the death touch? I don't know. So I can't say this is the best attack I've ever made. Yeah, it was kind of a rough one, not gonna lie. Alright, let's plus Teferi, since that's gonna be happening regardless. We'll 0 Jace. Try to find some more action. We found action. So we can fetch away these lands since we hit one of our, like, 18 fetch lands. Growth Spiral will guaranteedly hit a land, so I kind of feel like we want to do that. Yeah, let's go for the Growth Spiral now, since it's effectively free. Put in the land. And I guess we're done. I think we might just be in good shape. Even if they make a token and, like, get something good from the Saga, like, we still got a lot of stuff. Oh, they get 2 tokens because of the Spring Leaf. Yeah, that's right. That's fine. We have the tools to deal with some tokens, I do believe. We can counterspell a hammer, so I guess not if they Cigar's Aid, but them attaching it with Cigar's Aid from the Saga trigger means that we just get to Ice-Fang whatever they attach, so, like, that's fine. Even if it's just trading with an Ornithopter, I'm okay with that. Actually, I'm not that okay with it, because it means we're losing our Planeswalker to the Construct token? I don't know. Yeah, Saga doing a lot of work against us. Getting Hammer, putting it on Ornithopter, I guess. Oh, wait, one of these constructs can't attack. Alright, we're in luck then. We're not going to be losing a Planeswalker, which means we're probably going to be doing fine. Yeah, sure. We can minus the bounce the Ornithopter. We'll let this go, see if they want to reattach. No? Like, we can chump the Ornithopter, Ice-Fang the Construct. Nah, that's just worse than just trading with the Ornithopter, right? Our mana's kind of weird here, but it still works, so we'll Ice-Fang. Land. Oh, that's right, we knew it was on top, we had to fetch. Oops. That's okay, we'll just brainstorm it away anyways. Do we even block the Construct? I don't know that we do. 6 damage is not, like, a lot. And they can't instant speed anything here either, so we know it's going to be 6. I'm just going to take the 6. Hushbringer. I mean, I'm countering basically any and every spell our opponent casts here, so... No. No reason to fetch now since we've hit both the cards we put on top anyways. Dovin's Veto. Are we supposed to minus or not? I feel like we are. Bounce that. Uptick. Keep land in hand for Brainstorm next turn. Oh, wait. We can buy Yorion, which we definitely want to do. Let's see. We buy Yorion, play land. We still have Veto up. Alright, I'm down. We do still have Yorion, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll swing. Alright, we'll buy Yorion. Play land. Play Yorion. Oh, wait. We're gonna need some blue. Here's Yorion. We'll yield to this. Blink everything that we can blink. Even Jace, since he's at 3 instead of 2. Yep. Just blink everything. Blink all of it. Let's fetch here. Oh, we have to shock. Alright, well, I'm shocking. No basics left, huh? We'll enchant the It doesn't matter. Let's actually just enchant this to represent maximum interaction. And do we endurance ourselves? We have Ice Fangs. Yeah, let's just endurance us. It's a good thing that we hit the untap source, because now we can gross file if we need to. Sentinel. Sure. We don't have to cast this gross file anyways, so... Yep, and we win. Alright. Game 3. Detour and Broker's Charm, it's whatever. Endurance, still not looking fantastic, but at least it blocks. Like, Endurance didn't really do anything that game. I think it might be better to have Broker's Charm for the fight. And the draw. Honestly, I think Time Raveler is also better than Endurance, because it cuts off our opponent's instant speed interaction and their spell pierces and stuff. So Teferi's actually looking pretty good here. Bounces Saga. Teferi's probably actually good against them. Veto looking not that fantastic, but also, like, not horrible. Do we want... Is Detour better than Veto or not? I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going for it, though. I'm doing it again. I have no clue how to sideboard with this list. Not even a small, slight clue. Turn 1 Prismatic Ending and to an eventual instant speed Supreme Verdict seems good, so... If they play Sinto on 1, do we Prismatic Ending it immediately, or do we just untap? If we just play tap, land, and pass, and they untap and hold up Spell Pierce, then we kind of get owned, even if we Prismatic Ending and pay. I don't know. They have Sentinel. So we actually have to decide, too. Another ending, huh? I'm just gonna do it. I hate it, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna pay the life, too, I think. Yeah, let's just Hallowed Fountain. Get rid of that. Done. Our opponent got there 2 for 1. Cigar's Aid. We might have to ending that, too. To be honest. Pure Steel? I would love if this is Pure Steel. Hushbringer. We did see that last game. Do I care about Hushbringer? I mean, honestly, not really, but... We could use this turn to play Floodplain. We could ending for 2 to hit the Hushbringer. If they go ham on Hushbringer, then we can Teferi bounce it. Unless they hold up Spell Pierce. They'd have to have exactly Aid, Hammer, Spell Pierce in hand. I don't think I care about Hushbringer. At least not right now. I'm going to play Floodplain and pass. This lets us go Teferi into Verdict on curve, so... We're holding up March. It's coming. Lifelink! They get to gain 1. How can we beat that? Cigar's Aid. Kind of interested in, getting rid of that. Oh, no. We're definitely going to Prismatic Ending that one. Yeesh. Nope. Now we're hitting Cigar's Aid and hoping that Verdict goes the distance. Ice-Fang that doesn't do anything thanks to our opponent's Hushbringer. And it still chump blocks. Chump blocking is actually relevant. So we can shock here, hold up Ice-Fang in case they have exactly Aid plus Hammer or something, or like something like that. Yeah, screw it. Prismatic Ending this for 1, because we know that we're doing that. Do I believe they're going to have Aid plus Hammer here? Honestly, no. I'm not going to take the damage. And then we're just going to untap and Verdict, so... Yes, play more creatures, please. Please, by all means, play all the creatures. This Verdict is looking better and better every moment. And Giver of Runes doesn't do anything for protection from the verdict, because, okay, that's kind of annoying, actually, but the Giver of Runes doesn't protect from verdict because protection stops damaging and targeting abilities, but verdict does none of those. It literally just wipes the board. It doesn't damage or target anything, so. Hold on. Our mana is kind of awkward here, so bam. Verdicto Supremo. Now we have to beat Alone Urza Saga and our opponent's top card. I feel like we can probably do that. And I hope their top card was Ornithopter. Marsh Flats. That's even better, actually. That's even better than them having Ornithopter for us. Ice-Fang is fantastic. All right, now we'll take the 2 life. We'll play Teferi Time Raveler. Oh, wait, not with that mana, we won't. There we go. Don't think that we're bouncing Saga, so we'll just plus and pass. We have a non-death touch Coatl. Sad, but, you know, is what it is. It's probably worth trump blocking anyways. This is looking like a game that we can win. Also, for what it's worth, I think Giver of Runes is very good in Hammer Time. I do think so. Pithing Needle to name Teferi? That's kind of tragic, actually. I was not expecting that. I will admit, I was not expecting that. Are we blocking with Coatl? I guess not. Second Coatl plus any snow land would allow us to have Death Touch, so yeah, I'm not blocking. You got me. 4 damage. Coming in hot. We could also find a Prismatic Ending or March for the Needle and then unlock our Time Raveler. Yep, this equip is fine. Alright, blue-green. Draw a card. My favorite thing on the planet to do. Prismatic Ending. Got him. Alright. Broker's Charm. Alright, get rid of that annoying Pithing Needle right there. Gone. Bounce draw the construct they equipped for max value. Bam. Gone. Headquarters. Do we play this? Or cycle it? I kind of feel like we cycle it. I think it doesn't actually matter what we do at this point either, though, so I'm just going to play it. We'll use the mana eventually. We have 2 snow permanents. It has at least 3 other snow permanents. So these Ice-Fangs are not death touching at the moment. We'll just pass. And I'm not going to attack, because having Teferi in play is more valuable than the 1 damage, so we'll chump block here, I think. Saga that we can Broker's Charm. Love it. Broker's Charm Secret Hidden Mode, hitting enchantments. Actually relevant here. And we will chump block, I guess. We could have cast Ice-Fang and double blocked, but I don't know. I don't think so. See what they have here. Nothing. Alright, well, we'll draw some cards with Archmage's Charm. Target us. Spreading Seas! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't Broker's Charm. Oh man, this is... We just have all of it. We have every single thing that we want to have. That's what we got. That was amazing. Fantastic draw. Fetch land. Nah, I don't think I will. Oh, we get to play Teferi here too? Like Big Teferi? How did I miss that? I was absorbed by the Spreading Seas play. Our opponent says good games. GG's. Alright, so we did get Retribution. We got to win a Hammer matchup. Fantastic. Broker's Charm actually seeming probably okay in this matchup. It's a little slow, but, I mean, our whole deck is slow, so I think Broker's Charm is probably worth it. Well, I have updated the record to show that we are now 2-1, and this is where I'm going to stop for now. I'll play the rest of the matches at a later date, and you guys will see the next match in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, we'll hop in here for match 4 here. 2 matches left to go. 2-1 start. Feeling pretty good so far. On the play or the draw, Magic Online will decide. On the draw, cool. We'll reveal our companion against Mirror Ripper. We have a turn 2 counterspell hand, which is one of my favorite kinds of hands to draw in Modern. We have no early interaction, but we have a Supreme Verdict, so we're just gonna hope and pray. Another example of a hand that would be much better on the play than on the draw, but, you know, alas. We could just top deck a Prismatic Ending and be in fantastic shape. Plagued by Mystic Gate once again. Another burn deck? Arid Mesa do nothing go is kind of strange. We'll play our Windswept Teeth and pass. They fetch. Tap Sacred Foundry. Interesting? I don't know what to take of that. That's right, so it is burn. Eidolon's kind of gross, but, you know, we do what we can. Yeah, having to detour this Eidolon to answer it, not exactly where we would be, but, you know. Are we... If our opponent plays exactly second Eidolon, we might be forced to counterspell. Or we could just, like, take a bunch of damage until we Verdict. None of that sounds particularly appetizing to me. I don't know. I guess we just have to hold up counterspell and pass. Mystic Gate fixes for our Supreme Verdict, so... If we're gonna do that... Goblin Guide, making our opponent take some damage. Do we need to counter this? I have no clue. Because if we counter this, we're taking 2 anyways, and then our opponent just slams second Eidolon. I guess we can take 2 this turn from their attack, and then 4 next turn, and we'll be at 17 minus the 6 is 11, and we Verdict, and we're tapped out for a turn. Like, I don't know, this just... I guess we have to let it... Well, hold on. If we let it go, then we're taking 4, and then 4... So we're taking 8, or as if we counter it, and they have second... I think we just have to counter this, unfortunately. I'd rather counter the known spell that they have than play around a second Eidolon that we don't know for sure they might have, so... Boros Charm is probably fine. And by fine, I mean there's nothing we can do about it, but at least it's not a creature that's going to continue to deal repeated damage to us. Ice-Fang. Oh, man. If we had gotten a Snowland instead of the Spars, this Ice-Fang could trade with our opponent's Eidolon. Assuming it stayed in play. Well, I guess we're playing Windswept Teeth and passing. It might be worth cycling this Ice-Fang, even though we're going to take 2 regardless, just so that we get to... Because we're taking 2, but we're gaining 2, so it's like basically a wash. And we get to draw the card. But we might want this Ice-Fang for post-combat anyways. Not post-combat, but post-verdict. I don't know, we're just in a horrible spot. I'm just going to take it, because we might need the Ice-Fang as a way to clock our opponent, or as a way to trade with a creature after this Eidolon gets dealt with. We could also just detour the Eidolon. We'll get Rimewood Falls here, I suppose. Another Ice-Fang, huh? Okay, well, I guess I'm just doing the Verdict thing and hoping for the best. I don't know. Verdicts go. At least we're not taking damage from it, but we still could just be dead to, you know, Boros Charm, Double Bolt, or something like that. Another creature's not fantastic for us, but at least it's only 2 guaranteed damage. There's Boros Charm. Well, we've got a lot of work to do. Lava Spike, okay. Are we just dead? We are just dead. Honestly, I'm happy with that outcome. Trying to play a longer, drawn-out game was not going to be where we want to be. Alright, Timely's good. Endurance, we've determined, is, like, weird, but possibly good. Veto seems good. I don't want the extra Verdict. Maybe, like, 2 Endurances, but no more than that. Against our opponent, we were trimming on Abundant Growths, as taking extra damage from Eidolon, not where we really want to be. We were potentially trimming on Broker's Charm and Detour, but I'm not sure that I love that. Spreading Seas is great, actually. Jace is not fantastic. 4 cards, huh? I guess it's just detours. I keep having this question of, are we supposed to be siding out detour or veto against burn? On the play, I think veto might be better. Because then we could just counterspell a turn to Eidolon. I don't know. Gotta cut one more card. Prismatic Ending is probably fine. Cut a Teferi, I guess. I don't know. They have the Roiling Vortex post sideward, so Teferi's better. I like Broker's Charm, actually. I don't know. I need help, you guys. I'll just cut another Abundant Growth and call it a day. If you have ideas how to sideboard in this matchup, then let me know. We'll reveal Yorion again because it's free. We have turn 2 Ice-Fang, turn 3 Fairy. So I guess we'll try it. Lead on our tap land and fetch basic forest, I guess. Sucks with Archmage's Charm. We could also fetch... We could turn 1 fetch out tapped snow blue green land and then get basic island after that. And if we top deck an untapped source, we get Teferi or Archmages on turn 3. With an extra cantrip from Ice-Fang. That's probably better, right? Yeah, I think that's probably better. We'll play the Heath. Opponent has turn 1 creature. Swiss Spear, okay. Go to end step. We'll fetch for our Snowland. Get Rimewood. Alright, so we have an untapped source. Huh. We still would need to have a white source to get Teferi online. We could just fetch basic island and go for Archmage's Charm. So, are we gonna cantrips our Ice-Fang Coatl here just to save a point or two of damage? Maybe, maybe not. We do want to cast it if our opponent has Eidolon, so we probably don't want to play Floodplain here. So I guess it is just Island Pass. They fetch. And they have Eidolon, so we're rewarded for playing our untapped blue source, so we can just Ice-Fang here. I don't know that we block, though, to be honest. Next turn, we'll have another Snowland, so we can threaten to trade, so I guess we just don't block. Broker's Charm. Hey, that lets us fight our opponent's Eidolon and trade with Swift Spear at the same time. We'd have to fetch Shock to do that, though. We could play tap land, threaten to trade with Eidolon, and if they kill it, I guess... I don't know what we do if they kill our Ice-Fang, but at least we're gaining life from that. We don't really have a plan long-term for the Eidolon, though. I guess we could, like, Teferi bounce it. That feels awful, though. I don't know, this is just a mess. We could steal Swiss Spear. That seems not fantastic. I think we have to Floodplain here, though. If we get our opponent's Eidolon out of play, then we can Growth Spiral at end of turn. We'll see if they kill the Ice-Fang or not. Searing Blaze. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. Shame. Taking 4. Can we afford to Growth Spiral here? I'm not really sure. Go down to 10. Then Boros Charm Bolt for 2 turns straight kills us. If we take 2 from a Spiral and then take another 2 to cast one of these spells, it's not great for us. So I guess we Teferi bounce the Eidolon. I don't know what we're doing to win this game. Maybe drawing Solitude is the way to win. It's not a Solitude. We'll play our land. So we have the option of trying to steal the Swift Spear and, like, block Eidolon. There's no way we're going to be able to block Eidolon. I guess we just have to Teferi bounce draw and try to find that Solitude, huh? I think it's the only option we have. Not yet. I think we're just going to lose again. Eidolon's just really good against us. Red-White Boros Charm. Okay. Not playing Eidolon there is strange to me. Unless we're just dead, like they have land bolt. No? Attack us? Okay. Do we fetch to 3? I guess not. Another fetch land. Well, plus here. So I guess we're going to cast Growth Spiral and Archmage's Charm to steal. If we have to double fetch, that is. If they play Eidolon, we counter it. Double fetch, Growth Spiral, and then just like Teferi minus on the Swift Spear, I guess. This is just an absolute mess. We're definitely not slamming Teferi here, because then just any burn spell kills us, so might as well pass. Lava Spike. We'll let the Swift Spear go. And I guess we have to counter this? I hate it. We could let it resolve and plan to steal the Swift Spear, and that saves us from another creature. And then we can't ever fetch. If we counter this, I have another spell, we still can't fetch anyways. I think we just have to let this go. If we let this go and they have another spell, then we're just dead. If we counter it and they have another spell, we're dead anyways. So I think we're supposed to let this go and steal a Swift Spear. I don't know how we're winning from here, but... Alright, let's go ahead and take this one. Yoink. Yeah, I don't know how we're supposed to win here. Timely reinforcements, I guess, is like the only way. Skewer. And we're dead. Okay, well, Burn is not a great matchup, so... Alright, well, we are 2-2 now, and let's just hope not to get paired against Burn again. Man, we played against Burn twice and Hammer Time twice. Maybe we'll play against a actually different deck for the 5th round. That would be kind of cool. We were lucky enough to squeak by with a win in our first Burn matchup. Not so lucky the second time, so... Alright, let's hop in here for the last match. For all the marbles, this is going to be the match that determines whether we get our league value back by going 3-2, or whether we get half of our league value back by going 2-3. Either way, I'm happy to be able to produce this content for you guys. We'll keep this hand, by the way. It has all the things that I would want it to have, except for Snowlands, I guess. We have an answer for that one, which is great. I think we're putting Hallowed Fountain into play, so we can have turn 2 Ice-Fang or Counterspell, depending on what we want to do here. Definitely can't let this Ragavan run rampant on us. Nice to actually just immediately have the answer lined up against turn 1 Ragavan. And if our opponent doesn't get Delirium online, our Ice-Fang would be able to trade with this DRC, so that's kind of cool. So I guess we're shocking Breeding Pool and passing. This gives us Counterspell up and Ice-Fang at the ready, so it's possible our opponent's on a White Splash playing 3 Fairy. So that's something to keep in mind. I think it's unlikely, but there are some lists like that running around, although I don't think they usually play Ragavan, actually, believe it or not. It's not, maybe it's not Ragavan, maybe they don't play DRC, I'm not sure which, but... And I think I'm going to force our opponent to have the Unholy Heat here, because if they don't, then this is great for us, and either way, we get to draw a card and see more cards in our deck, so... Yep, they have the Heat. That's fine. Mono Lands is not fantastic, though, I will admit. At least they did not hit Delirium yet, but... They have Ledger Shredder? Oh my gosh! Holy! I did not expect a Ledger Shredder. So whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it connives, which means they draw and then discard a card, and if they discard a non-land, it gets a plus counter. It's just a 2-mana 1/3 flyer. Well, yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I think we're just playing Mystic Gate and Broker's Charm to draw 2. Or, you know, Counterspell and Murktide Regent, whatever the case may be. Do we have to Counterspell this? I mean, at this point, we can find more Ice-Fangs. We could find Supreme Verdict. We could find Solitude to exile one and then block another. And just counterspelling this plays into our opponent's counterspell, but they only have one card left. So they have instant land, so creature is not going to give them delirium. If we counter this, they could just Murktide us. I think we just let this go. Yeah, we'll take this damage. And if they do nothing, we are going to draw 2. If they have a counterspell, so be it. Didn't even have to click it. Apparently, it's the only legal mode, so. Come on! More lands? Okay. I see how it is. Archmage's Charm to steal is kind of interesting. Are we interested in stealing Dragon's Rage? We have sorcery instant creature. Land would put us on delirium, so in fact, our opponent may not realize that we would have delirium if we fetched. I suppose we wait to do this until their turn. Nah, actually, I'm not about that. I think we just do it now. We'll gain control of their untapped DRC and pass. Oh, now they have the counterspell. Okay. If they had counterspelled during their turn, they would have gotten to connive with Ledger Shredder. Although, they would have prevented us from drawing 2 extra lands, you know, so. I mean, we're just dying slowly over here. Please don't Murktide. No Murktide. No. Don't do it. What is this? Oh, their last card was Counterspell, and then they top decked Murktide, huh? Okay, well, we'll fetch, I guess? And get a tapped Snowland. Let's go with the Rimewood Falls, I suppose. Oh my gosh, this has been the most unlucky game I've ever played, and I'm not lying. Teferi. That we have to minus on the Murktide, and then it dies. I mean, at least we're not straight dead, so. And now Magic Online's being slow. Okay, the internet collapsed, so I'm on my Wi-Fi hotspot now. Man, everything is going wrong this game. Alright, we'll minus on the Murktide and pass, because that's what we gotta do. When the Murktide comes down the second time, we can counterspell it, but we have to deal with the what's on the board. So our best top deck is absolutely going to be Supreme Verdict. Alright, we need Verdict to stay in this game. Verdict off the top, and we probably just win. Prismatic Ending. They have only 2 types, so I guess ending the Ledger Shredder is the best thing. We can also steal one of these with Archmage's Charm, so we can ending for 2. Hold on, if we ending for 1, and then cast Counterspell and play land, untap land, we can buy Yorion. Okay. I'm gonna play a fetch land so we can play around Blood Moon if they top deck it, or do we just not play around it? I think it's free to play around Blood Moon. It costs us an extra point of life, but I actually think we want to ending on 1, just so that we can buy Yorion here. And we'll hold up Counterspell after buying Yorion. And then maybe Yorion stabilizes the board, so. I don't know, we're doing what we can. Pick this one up. Pass. We'll let them attack. Nothing we can do about this. At least they top decked a land, so I'm happy with that. Alright, we'll just untap, no need to fetch. And we have Archmage's Charm also to steal. I think we just steal the Channeler in combat, and then we can block the Ledger Shredder. And we have Counterspell to back it up. Or we could play Yorion. Let's see, if we play land, we have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess we can play a tap land here, and it's fine. Let's see, 5. We could play Yorion with Counterspell back up. Or we could just steal. I think we Archmage's Charm to steal. I guess... Oh, we know that they're about to get a Murktide in hand, too, so... Oh, land. So their hand is Murktide, and they just have what's on the board. Okay, so... Yeah, our steel should be good to go here. Okay. I guess we just take the 1, then? Oh, I don't know why I did that. It would have been better to steal and block. For some reason, I thought the Channeler would be tapped, but they didn't attack with it, so... They actually played into the Archmage's Charm, but, anyways, we'll do what we should have done anyways. Don't know why I didn't do it before. Should have one more point of life here, but alas, you know, what can you do about it? And we'll play Yorion, because we can still... Hold on, wait, have we played a land yet? We have played land. If we play Yorion, then they could have exactly, like, Spell Pierce. I don't know, we just have to play Yorion here. I don't think that we can play around anything, so... We are not going to blink the DRC, though. So we're playing Yorion as just an extra 4/5 creature. And we're forced to attack with the DRC, so we'll do that. We might still be able to come back in this game. Yep. The power of the extra card from the sideboard, huh? They double fetch. Makes sense. I suppose this is still a game if they have Counterspell plus Murktide here. Looks like this is a full value Murktide. Yep, we are going to counter this, and it looks like they're representing Spell Pierce, but we can't play around it, so we'll say no. We get to Surveil, though, so that's cool. We'll put that one on top. Oh, it worked. Okay, cool. All right, I feel very good about our spot now. We swing both, and they untap and attack us for 1. They could have Bolt plus a second spell to kill us. Although we can Archmage's Charm to counter the Bolt, so I think we're good to double attack here. And then next turn they trump. The 4, perhaps? We could also just draw 2 now, but I think holding the Archmage's Charm to counter is probably better. We'll play another fetch land. I think I'm interested in swinging here. Just putting max clock on them. This seems fine. Just try to get the game over before they can draw out of it. Next turn, they'll be forced to block, so they can't even attack here if they don't have a way to block. And if they do have a way to block, we can potentially just steal or counter it, so... they are attacking. Okay. We will not block. Land. Murktide. That will be counterspelled. Alright. Game 2. Well, I mean, that was the unluckiest game I've ever played, and yet we still managed to win, so we're going to want Verdict in this matchup since it's an uncounterable way to answer everything that our opponent has. Disputes for their counterspells, Murktides, you know, that sort of thing. Veil of Summer to protect our stuff. Veto, I don't love. Timely Reinforcements is kind of interesting, but probably not worth it. Seize is horrible. Counterspell is not fantastic, but it's not bad. Jace and Teferi are fine. March and Ending are fantastic. Well, we gotta cut 5 cards. I don't know what they would be. Growth Spiral seems good. Maybe Abundant Growth isn't that fantastic. We can trim an Abundant Growth. We don't really want to be tapping out for this. And by that, I mean, like, not having anything else to do on turn 1. It's not like Abundant Growth is bad, though. It plays well through Blood Moon, potentially. I don't know. We have Broker's Charm for Blood Moon as well, though, and we can just fetch around it, so not super worried. Although, maybe trimming Archmage's Charm against possible Blood Moons is a good idea, like Blood Moon or Magus. I feel like trimming one Archmage's Charm for that reason isn't a bad choice. I think Solitude is a must, since it answers Murktide for us. and lets us start attacking and gaining life back, so they can't just, like, tempo us out. Growth Spiral, I think Growth Spiral is good, though. Maybe Veil Summer's not fantastic. I don't know, it's probably fine, though. Dude, all of our cards are good here. I guess we're just trimming Detours. Sure. Although Detour also is an answer to Murktide, so maybe Detour is fine, but... I mean, we have Teferi to bounce. We have, Counterspell. Ooh, this hand is, interesting. We get to Cantrip with the Abundant Growths. And we have a draw for turn, and we can Prismatic Ending on turn 1 if we hit a land. If they have turn 1 Ragavan and we don't draw a land, then this hand can be kind of weak, but the fact that we have Growths to draw and an answer to DRC eventually, I kind of am tempted to keep this. Maybe it's not worth the risk, though. Huh. Let's see, our opponent kept 7. I'm gonna try it. It could be wrong. If we don't top deck land and our opponent plays turn 1 Ragavan, then we'll be sad, but... Okay, well, they didn't play turn 1 threat, which is fantastic for us. We'll get Temple Garden shocked, and we'll Abundant Growth our own Temple Garden. I don't know if they would be willing to Spell Pierce this or not. Right, land. Yes, we're doing it. We are doing it. I don't know how Abundant Growth interacts with Blood Moon, by the way. Not an interaction that I'm familiar with, so if we find out, we find out. Now they play DRC. But we can Prismatic Ending with Veil of Summer up, if they do have Spell Pierce, so... I think I'm interested in doing that. Interesting. We can fetch a basic Plains to help play around Blood Moon a bit. And then Abundant Growth the Plains after our Prismatic Ending. If it resolves, and if it doesn't, we just Veil. So I'm pretty okay with this. I think they would have dashed Ragavan there, perhaps, if they had it, so I'm not super scared about them having a Ragavan. Spell Pierce will respond to... Actually, hold on. We'll let them Surveil first and see what happens there. And then we'll Veil of Summer. Definitely Veil of Summer over Dispute here, as we want to draw the card to try to find a land. And secondly, because Dispute can hit Murktide. Whereas Veil can't do anything against Murktide, so... We would like to top deck a 3rd land. If we are able to do that, then I feel quite good. Alright, we were able to do it. I think I'm going to Abundant Growth our Plains here and just hold up Mystical Dispute. Endurance is a good one. They're close to having Murktide with Counterspell backup. But if we top deck a land again, we can just Supreme Verdict, so... Archmage's Charm. Do we... I think we just Dispute this. Feels good enough to me. If we had a green card, we could consider Endurancing there just to stop them from casting... Oh, they just concede. Okay, well... I guess maybe the blue-red Murktide matchup is pretty good for us then, huh? Well, we ended up 3-2, as indicated by the record below me, and I don't have too much to say about the deck. I think that maybe in this Detour is a little greedy. I think we should be trimming Detours and playing like a 3rd March of Otherworldly Light that appears over here for some reason. And like, maybe like a 3rd Solitude or something. I think that in this Detour is not fantastic. However, I actually quite like Broker's Charm, so I think that Broker's Charm is definitely a reasonable 4-up for this deck. Maybe just like another Time Raveler instead of the other Detour. Playing 1 Detour even may not be worth it, but Spreading Seas was actually very good too, so I could see playing a 4th Spreading Seas over Detour. Broker's Charm, however, I was quite impressed with, and obviously having access as far as headquarters is fantastic, so... I don't know, I'm just saying, in a matchup where we... not matchup. In a league where we played against Burn twice and played against Hammer, which is a very tricky matchup, and I have little to no experience with this particular deck, especially this deck list, and ending up 3-2, I don't know, that just seems like a pretty good place to be. I also think that we could maybe trim an Endurance for something else, but anyways, I'm glad that you guys joined me for this journey, and let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments below, and if you want to see this deck again as well. So, anyways, this is Redface Menace, signing off.